This is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. Welcome to St. Paul Evangelical Lutheran Church. We are glad that you could join us this morning, Monday, November 6th. We're glad that you're here with us. Our devotion this morning comes from Psalm 5. Listen as I read the words of the psalm. Give ear to my words, O Lord. Give heed to my sighing. Listen to the sound of my cry, my King and my God, for to you I pray. O Lord, in the morning you hear my voice. In the morning I plead my case to you and watch. For you are not a God who delights in wickedness. Evil will not sojourn with you. The boastful will not stand before your eyes. You hate all evildoers. You destroy those who speak lies. The Lord abhors the bloodthirsty and deceitful. But I, through the abundance of your steadfast Lord, with love will enter your house. I will bow down towards your holy temple in awe of you. Lead me, O Lord, in your righteousness, because my enemies make your way straight before me. For there is no truth in their mouths. Their hearts are destruction. Their throats are open graves. They flatter with their tongues. Make them bear their guilt, O God. Let them fall by their own counsels. Because of their many transgression, cast them out, for they have rebelled against you. But let all who take refuge in you rejoice. Let them ever sing for joy. Spread your protection over them, so that those who love your name may exult in you. For you bless the righteous, O Lord. You cover them with favor as with a shield. Psalm 5 is a morning prayer. It is a cry to the Lord for protection. The psalmist here, who is King David, surrounded by his enemies, David looked to God. This prayer of David is a total and absolute dependence on God for deliverance and protection. They say that when Martin Luther was about to face the diet of worms to defend his own faith and all that he stood for, one of the servants of the cardinal was taunting Luther. And he said to Luther, "Where will you find shelter if your patron, the Elector of Saxony, should desert you?" Luther's response was, "Under the shelter of heaven." In other words, Luther says that I find my shelter not in any other member, any other person, but under the shelter of heaven. David, when faced with his enemies, called on God because he understood the sovereignty of God. David knew that God do not respond to us based on other people's opinion of us. God does not listen to gossip. God is sovereign. God's ways are not like ours, nor are God's thoughts like humans. David knew that his help and his defense came only from God. So in this, his morning prayer, he called on God. David did not complain to his friends. He did not turn to anyone for answer or to anything to give an answer. David turned to God in prayer. And friends, If we really believe that prayer is powerful and that prayer connects our circumstances to heaven's resources, then we need to take all of our problems to God in prayer. David knew the character of God based on his experience of God. And so he recounts the character of God. He knew that God is dependable. He knows that God listens to those who call on him. You see, our praise and our worship springs from the truth of God's character and what God has done for us in the past. God's character is constant. It does not change. God is just, and God is always extending mercy, grace, and love. God is faithful to his promises. David's desire in his prayer is to follow God. David was fully aware of his dependence upon God to keep him on the right path. So he looks to God and asks that God keeps him on the right path, not any human person. He prayed that he will not waver, but that he will remain constantly on the path of righteousness that God has called him to. So as we begin today, we do so with the confidence of David, whose dependence is on God, God who directs our path and sustains us. May God guide our every step today and lead us into the right path for his name's sake. May God guide our tongue, and may all of our words strengthen, affirm, and encourage. May God walk with us through this day, and may God deliver us from all evil. That is my prayer today. And the peace of God is with you always. God bless you.